In this episode, more treacherous cliff edge roads, I share a water crossing with some cows, I start climbing into the high mountains, and I stay in a rock hut with no power, no running water at 4,400 metres elevation. Morning. I was about to head off and the guy who runs the homestay came out and communicated that way where I was going, there's been a landslide. So I can't get through. So that must mean I've got to go back through that track from yesterday. Oh, so disappointed. Anyway, I'll make my way that way to Leh. We'll see what's out there. It had just gone 5:30 a.m. as I headed off. After spending hours on this road yesterday, I felt more comfortable on it, as I was being very cautious yesterday, while I got a feel for riding along this narrow, bumpy track with no guardrails to sometimes quite high cliff drop-offs down to the river below. It's weird. That looks a little dangerous, precarious on the cliff face there, but when I'm riding, you don't even think about it. But looking from here, I can see how that might look a little dangerous. Better not think about it much, don't I? Say it again, if you can get here, so good. Besides the track, the gorge itself and the streams that come down from the mountainsides into the main river are stunningly beautiful, very postcard worthy. Not that you'd find a postcard out here. Still more breathtaking spots. I came upon a vehicle which came upon a truck. So up here to keep moving, it's finding a solution that gets everybody through. Normally starting with the least mobile vehicle going through first. It has that dusty alpine feel you get at the end of summers in North America in the mountains. I got back onto the newly sealed road section. Just stopped again for a bit of water. It is actually quite warm, a little sticky. Looks like they're coming early enough. I've missed the roadworks, so that's always good. Tend to slow you down, they do. Although I'm just at the foothills of the Himalayas, it's pretty special. get to share this water crossing with some cows. I'm not usually impressed by waterfalls, but that one, I must admit, is pretty cool. I spotted a stream coming down from a small valley between the mountains and just had to have a closer look. This little stream into the main river, it's like someone's hand drawn it, zigzagging back. How'd I miss it on the way through? If you don't have some sort of vehicle out here, it is a very long walk to get anywhere. This river was running at a decent speed. That's a lot of water moving. I spotted a bridge where I could get over the top of the river, so I went and checked it out. What an incredible gorge this river has carved out. Just pulled into town. Found a little bit of shade next to this store, grabbed some water and just resting the body. Beaten up on that one. A lot of fun. So good. And I think it's only like 10 AM, so still some more riding to go. So I'm going to take a bit of a rest and work out. I think I head back out on the main highway, the Manali Leh HWY I think it is. Yeah, and I've got to work out if I can get a pass to get across. Sometimes they let you through, sometimes they don't. We'll find out. So remember, if you get a chance, get here and do that ride. I have one slight issue. My back bag doesn't have a lot in it, and the straps are cinched as far down as they can. I can't cinch it down anymore. I was keeping it just in case I needed lots of water and things like that. Not sure what I'm going to do. I have to figure that one out. I have a better look when I stop somewhere. But for now, back on the road. And there's going to be some altitude change. Well, we've got rock falls. I don't know if it's intentional. There's someone up there clearing it. But yes, another wait. Just getting out of the sun though, and trying to stay away from the bees. Where I'd stop was right next to a bunch of beehives. Luckily, I'm not allergic. I got to a section of road where the traffic was backed up. I slowly made my way to the front. They let me ride through. They were laying down a new road surface and it was still hot. So I gather driving a truck or car onto it would warp the road while it was still hot. But as bikes were a lot lighter, it wouldn't cause the same issue. They could be waiting quite a while for it to cool down in this heat. had made it back onto the Manali Leh Highway, and right now the only way to get to Leh from here, seeing the other way was blocked from the landslide. The mountains started to get bigger. I made it to the town of Jispa, the last town before you start crossing over the 4 high passes. I pulled over to get water and supplies, just in case. The other thing I checked was information about needing a permit to get through the checkpoint. The information online was very confusing, so I decided to go to the checkpoint. I gather they'd tell me what I needed, then come back to Jispa and try to figure out how to get the permit. Well, winging it actually worked. They let me through. Everything just went up a whole new level. This camera just doesn't capture the grandeur of these mountains and valleys. There are no words. I got chills as I came into that green valley. It's cannot describe it. One of those places you're going to need to check out for yourself. It's also a small lake here. Water is crystal clear. And by the way, at the checkpoint, I was worried about it because I quickly did a bit of research when I got the water altitude, and when I got the water and it said foreigners have to have a pass, have to go in groups of 2 and all that, so I was like, oh well, I'll just go check it out. Guy waved me over, filled out a thing and stamped it and shooed me off, so that was good. So I hadn't really planned. I'm hoping there's somewhere to stay somewhere along here because I just want to take it all in. Speed limit's 50k. I might go even slower. Had all my fun on the dirt roads today. I just don't know how to describe it. Oh well, I'm gonna get back on the road. I rode into the next valley with these incredible towering mountains either side. They had little shelters on the side of the road where you could get food and rest. I climbed higher. I spotted another set of shelters, so I pulled over. Not wanting to rush this part of the journey, thinking I might just stay here. It's not much at all. That's okay. Probably better than a tent, what I was doing in New Zealand. Well, hi, I'll see if I can work out the altitude. It's not too high. It's not one of the passes. I think there's 3. But I'm going to have an omelette. I'm going to test something out too. I'll show you in a minute. Go inside. This nice young man's making me an omelette. Haven't asked him yet. Let's see if I can pull up one of these mattresses. I'm sure that'll hit the spot. I'll have to recover between mouthfuls because the effort to eat. 2 forks. No knife. Eggs are good though. You'll have to excuse me if I talk a little slower or pause a lot, just with the altitude. I said I was going to test something out. What I've got is an oxygen reader, just to check your oxygen levels as you go up. I've read a couple of things, below 80 and definitely below 70 you need to head down, so yeah, we'll test it. Put your finger in it, turns it on. 87, 88. Not too bad. When I got it, I tested it and it was 99%. And then I tested again down at Manali. This is why you should also ride slower at these sort of altitudes. Everything's a bit slower. So, and in Manali it was, I think, 94, 95. So still all good. I went outside and had a look around. The wind was definitely being funneled up the valley. I bumped into a lady on the other side of the road who had another shelter up here.
For summer, 4 months.
And this is your...
my business. Yeah.
And you get many people?
Yeah, many people. Yeah.
Many ride Enfield.
This one is our, then this 4 is tourist.
Tourist, yeah. After a bit of a lay down, finding the altitude not too bad. Don't know if that means I'm acclimatising a little yet. One thing I've got to do, I've noticed there's a lot of stickers on the windows just up here, and well, some of you probably know there is a sticker floating out there. If you've received one, you know why. And I've got a couple with me here, so I thought I might as well join the party and add one on. So we'll go put it on. I've only got a few, so we'll see what happens. The guy who ran the place cleaned the glass for me. I have no idea how long it will last on there, but if you see it, let me know. I can see why they make these places out of stone. That wind is howling, and I bet it's a lot stronger when it gets really going. They've got tin roofs. Novel solution to stop them from flapping around. They put rocks on them. This kind of thing is what I love to experience. Riding up a mountain pass into the Himalayas and pull over, staying at what is essentially a rock hut. It's not flash, there's no power, so I'm going to have to go to bed soon. Very basic, but yeah, it's just the experience. Who needs 5-star when you've got solid rock? I moved the bike beside the door of this little hut on this large mountain as the last of the light started to fade from the top of the peaks. We are working off just a little bit of solar panel, so I don't think the lights are going to last too long. But we have dinner, and I went a real original. Same thing as lunch. It was yummy, so I just went with it, avoiding unknown spices. Oh, and I'll show you the actual bedding accommodation. They all seem to be very similar. So that will be me tonight. It's about 8 o'clock. I think I was up at 4:35 waiting to get on the bike. Wasn't keen at all. So I'm going to eat, crash out, and see what tomorrow brings.
Oh my love, you're such a fragile thing, I know. And with the winter comes the ice, the snow.
In the next episode, I ride into thick fog on a mountain pass, through stunning valleys and high plains, over several passes where the altitude is above 5,000 metres and where my oxygen levels drop to under 75%. Past some unique rock formations, and I finally make it to Leh.
Just feel the summer sun as it warms our bed.